Welcome back. We are having some fun here. We had a great call from Brooklyn who was upset about the girl who sailed around the world and then supposedly exploited us all by turning her experience into a reality show. I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it's good. I think it's what this country was made on. Cheap selling out. That's what it's all about. We've got a couple of guests lined up right now, and I'm going to go to our first guest back from the commercial here. Let's get his pre-recorded opening queued up and give him what he deserves. One of America's most successful professional matchmakers and relationship experts, our next guest is the star of VH1's Tough Love, a series that reveals a rare inside look into the male perspective on dating and relationships. He, with the help along the way from his mom and business partner, attempt to reshape a group of women's destructive dating habits and help them find Mr. Right in his Tough Love boot camp. Please welcome Steve Ward. Hey, Steve.
Hey, how's it going, Robert?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. You got yourself another Don Pardo in the making there.
Yeah, you know, it's five auditions a day.
No, I can imagine.
On my show. I've built it into my show so that all I do now is when I introduce my guests, I'm auditioning for SNL's voiceover.
You really are the next Don Pardo. I hope that happens. Let's make it happen in existence.
You're talking to Steve Ward, the host of Tough Love on VH1. Steve, to my right, is Jess Zano, who was a contestant on, or a castmate on Vivica Fox's Glam Gods. And
on
also
VH1, my friends. So we're network mates.
Style network stuff and E! Entertainment. Steve, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
You just
pretty exhausted. Been, crisscrossing the country lately and doing everything I can to get another show on the air. So
you just flew into Philly, right?
Yeah. Actually, last night on a red eye. So it's been a long day.
Are you in Philadelphia now?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Where he
One
is.
of my favorite cities.
So we also have on the phone with us Doron Ofir from Doron Ofir Casting. I don't know if you know Doron. Do you?
No, I don't.
We actually don't, but I'm a fan.
Oh, good.
Oh, thanks, John.
Doron is casting. He cast a bunch of shows: Tool Academy, Jersey Shore, and now he's doing Party Down South. He was on 20 minutes ago, but we somehow got disconnected, so we're all here together.
I had an LA phone cut. That's weird. Our technology grid's not so great out here. So now I'm on another line.
Oh, that's good. So I have a question for you, Steve. You are coming to the show Tough Love from a real place. This is like your work before you got on the show, correct?
Yes.
And a lot of people, when they're hosting on shows, it's kind of like I'm an actor and it's another venue for me. I can walk out and try and become a host, or I can become a spokesperson. For you, was that also part of your repertoire, or did this just come to you? How did you get to your own personal dating relationship expertise area and then become the host perfectly for this show?
They asked us to do it. My mom hung up the phone. They called us back, insisted that we give them a chance. They came to Philadelphia, threw a bunch of money at me, and voila, I became a host.
And who's the they that came that called you? What do you mean they called us?
A development manager for a production company in L.A. that was being commissioned to create a dating show from a male point of view.
Now, I'm curious. This was Flower Films, right?
No, they were just attached. They're more of a creative partner, and they help shape the episodes and the arc of the show. But and they created the concept along with High Noon. High Noon is the true production entity.
For the people who are out there who don't know, Flower Films is Drew Barrymore's company.
Correct.
So, Steve, were you in acting before you did this, or did you?
I goofed off in college to just pay the bills. I did extra roles on Guiding Light and modeled and did commercials and stuff like that. But it was, I did everything from costume catalogs to, department store modeling or whatever, because I was putting myself through college. But it wasn't anything that I ever really anticipated becoming a career.
So how did the dating world or love advice become your career?
I was born into it. My mom's been doing it my entire life. So I joined her company after I graduated college to kind of help her get a little bit more organized and to start using some information technology, because she was still doing everything out of filing cabinets and folders. And, one thing led to another, and just started, following in her footsteps. And, we built up a pretty successful Mid-Atlantic business. Our company's called Master Matchmakers. Our website's mastermatchmakers.com. And now that we offer, in addition to matchmaking, coaching services, much like we provided on Tough Love.
I got to point out that a lot of the casting calls that come from these shows are all on realitywanted.com. I got to point that out. And as a segue, Doron, you were saying that you are a fan of Steve's. What is it as a casting director that you see in Steve that you would want other people to bring to television? What are the qualities in Steve Ward that you like that people should be thinking about if they want to be on reality television or be on television? Oh, man, I had lined up a great... Where are you? Is
Great
Doron still there?
Robert.
Yeah, I'm on here.
Did you hear my question?
I didn't. Sorry.
Oh, it's all right. Multitasking. It's killing this country. Oh, my God.
Oh, what's going on here? I'm running an empire.
That's all right. I was saying you're a fan of Steve Ward's. What is it about Steve Ward? What does he have on air that you think other people really need to get on television?
We're going to talk honestly here.
Yeah.
You do a show, which is technically my competition because I do Millionaire Matchmaker. So, but what I like about you in terms of being a fan base and somebody who comes from the eye of casting is that you bring a no-bones approach from the perspective of a male viewer to women that think they are dateable when they actually are not. Whereas Millionaire Matchmaker is the flip. It's for guys that think they're dateable and technically they're not, but there's a different element in it because it's a luxury branding show where your show does not necessarily deal with financial ramifications. Now, your take on it, I'm not saying anything you don't already know, but your take on it is one that is aggressive. You're a Simon Cowell expert, from the perspective of love and dating, and you have no bones about it. Plus the fact that the package in which you are in helps, because you are definitely the kind of guy that most women would at one point or another choose to date from within, a normal realm. It's 8 out of 10, I would say.
So, Steve, does that sound an accurate assessment of your skills?
I appreciate it. Flattering. Thank you very much.
Do you?
I guess if that's what you say, to me, I don't know. I think that over the years I've developed a bit of an expertise in love, dating, and relationships from practicing as a matchmaker for more than 8 years. There's lots of books that have been written on the success of individuals in all types of industries, but matchmaking is no exception. And, after spending 60, 70 hours a week under my mom's, direct guidance and mentorship, for 8 years, you tend to pick up on things. And, also being single and dating myself personally, I know what it's like to be out there. I know all the different ways and means to go about doing it. And, you just develop a bit of an acumen that I feel I can convey very well to, either a layman or someone who's very sophisticated. I think that's my versatility that I bring to the program that allows me to communicate with somebody who's very rough around the edges or somebody who's, more intelligent and looking for kind of a more sophisticated answer.
Yeah,
a
baby.
friend of mine was on the show that he helped.
What show?
Tough Love.
What friend?
Her name is Jody Green.
Yeah, Jody's a wonderful person. I love her to death.
So Jody Green and I are good friends. I'm actually trying to convince her to call in, but she's very busy out there.
Steve,
on the West Coast.
Are you pumping it up for television, or is this what people get when they go to you and you're not on air? How much of it is a little extra juice to?
Part of what I mean, people ask me all the time, like how I feel about shows such as The Millionaire Matchmaker, and one of the things that I like about it is the fact that Patty's very unapologetic for her point of view. And I'm the same way, and so is my mother. And there's a lot of people that we've worked with over the years that, they come in and they expect to meet the love of their life, and they may have these really unrealistic expectations, and, they may be their worst enemy. And we have a moral obligation as master matchmakers to tell the person, you're off your rocker.
I have a question.
If you think that's what you're going to find, you got another thing coming.
Are you a mama's boy?
No, I don't think I am. A mama's boy, in my opinion, is somebody who basically defers to their mother's judgment on anything. I appreciate her opinion, and I give it, the appropriate amount of consideration. She's very wise and very experienced, but I make my decisions for myself.
Guys, we're going to take a short break. Will you stick with us for a couple more minutes after we come back?
Unfortunately, I can't. I got to meet a client for a very important dinner, but I appreciate, being a part of the conversation, and, good luck with the program. And if anybody, would like to know more, just go to my website, mastermatchmakers.com.
Mastermatchmakers.com, and if you want to Twitter, it's at Stephen B. Ward. Thanks, Stephen. Thanks for being with us, man. Really enjoyed talking to you.
Sure.
Doron, if you want to stick around, we'd be happy to have you and talk a little more when we come back about Party Down South.